My dear viewers, hello and welcome to the news bulletin from Channel 2, the Egyptian satellite channel, and Nile TV International. My name is Amal Mukhtar. I have all the pleasure to be accompanied with my dear colleague Reem. Hello, Reem.
Hello, Amal. Thank you so much. Dear viewers, we start right away with the headlines. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi receives greeting cables from senior state officials marking the new year. Secretary General of the Arab League, Ahmed Abulghait, firmly condemns the Israeli bombing of Kamal Adwan Hospital in northern Gaza. Clashes erupt between Syrian military forces and elements of ex-regime in Deir ez-Zor.
Welcome back to the news in detail. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi today received greeting cables from Syrian state officials welcoming the new year. In his cable, Minister of Interior Mahmoud Tawfiq extended his sincere wishes to President al-Sisi on the occasion, hoping more security and stability in the nation under his wise leadership. The minister vowed to support police authorities to steadily move forward in protecting the homeland onto more progress and development.
Minister of Foreign Affairs, Immigration and Egyptian Expatriates Badr Abdelati asserted Egypt's full support to Sudan and its effective participation in the regional and international efforts aimed to achieve stability and maintain the unity and sovereignty of its territories. This came during Abdelati's meeting with his Sudanese counterpart Ali Youssef al-Sharif at the Foreign Ministry's headquarters. Abdelati reviewed Egypt's supportive stance to achieve ceasefire, hailing the resolutions of the Sovereignty Council concerning the speedy access of the humanitarian aid to Sudan. Meanwhile, he stressed Egypt's keenness to resume the membership of Sudan in the African Union as soon as possible.
Gaza Health Ministry said Israeli strikes across the enclave had killed 18 Palestinians on Saturday, at least 9.
Secretary General of the Arab League, Ahmed Abulghait, has firmly condemned the Israeli bombing of Kamal Adwan Hospital in northern Gaza, in which a number of medical staff were killed. An Arab League chief stressed that the war crimes committed by Israel are unforgettable, asserting that the international silence is a real shame. Abulghait confirmed that targeting the hospital and its medical staff reflects the inhumanity and not abiding by the stable war international traditions.
Israeli raid have left the area's last major health facility impaired of patients and staff. Israel detained more than 240 Palestinian civilians, including dozens of medical staff from a North Gaza hospital that raided, including its director. Palestinian health officials and the World Health Organization said the Israeli raid forced the hospital in Beit Lahia out of service and led to Abu Sufia's detention. The World Health Organization added that Kamal Adwan Hospital was now empty, noting that it was appalled by the Israeli raid, which followed escalating restrictions and repeated Israeli attacks. The UN Health Agency said in a statement that the systematic dismantling of the health system and a siege for over 80 days on North Gaza puts the lives of the 75,000 Palestinians remaining in the area at risk. World Health Organization said that initial reports indicated that some areas of the Kamal Adwan Hospital were burnt and severely damaged during the raid. Israel's genocide war in Gaza has killed at least 45,484 Palestinian civilians.
Syria's new leader Ahmed al-Shara announced today that holding elections in Syria can take up to 4 years. Meanwhile, the new head of the intelligence services in Syria announced the plan to dissolve the institutions that were feared in the past. 2 days after being appointed to his post by the new leadership in Syria, Anas Khattab said that the security establishment will be reformed after dissolving all services and restructuring them. Most of these installations were now guarded by Tahrir al-Sham, the group that led the coalition that seized power in Damascus.
On the ground, clashes erupted between the Syrian military forces and elements of ex-regime in Deir az-Zor. Military operations in Bokmal and surrounding villages resulted in detentions of 100 people and seizing arms and ammunition warehouses that were prepared to be used in civil areas of spread chaos. Some suspects were found to be involved in operations targeting military operations chamber. In Damascus, citizens participated in the silent protest to release dozens of thousands of detainees during the ruling of ex-President Bashar al-Assad.
Russia announced today that it will scrap a proposed moratorium on the deployment of short and medium-range missiles as the United States started to deploy such weapons. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said Moscow is assessing the situation on the basis of an analysis of the destabilizing actions of the United States and NATO in the strategic sphere and accordingly the evolution of the threats that arise from them. Washington withdrew from the Intermediate-Range Nuclear Forces Treaty in 2019. Russia has since said it will not deploy such weapons provided that Washington does not.
Ukraine has said it had struck a storage and maintenance depot for long-range Shahed drones in Russia's Oripol region, adding that this had significantly reduced Russia's ability to launch mass drone attacks on Ukraine. Ukraine military's general staff said in a statement today that the attack took place on Thursday and was conducted by Ukraine's air forces. It said as a result of the strike, a depot for the storage, maintenance and repair of Shahed drones made the several protected concrete structures was destroyed. Russia has regularly launched missile and drone attacks on Ukraine throughout its 34-month military operation.
Mikhail Kavlashvili was sworn in as president of Georgia today. European Union application talks in a move that sparked major protests. Outgoing President Salome Zurabishvili, a pro-EU critique of the ruling party, said in a defiant speech to supporters outside the presidential palace that she was leaving the residence but remained the legitimate office holder. Zurabishvili says that Kavlashvili was not duly picked as the lawmakers who chose him were elected in an October parliamentary election that she says was marked by fraud. Georgia's opposition parties support her. The Georgian Dream ruling party and the country's election commission say that the October election was free and fair.
Egypt have expressed deep condolences to the families of the victims who died after the passenger plane burst into flames today when it skidded off a runway at the South Korean airport and slammed into a concrete fence when its front landing gear apparently failed to deploy. More in the following report.
At least 96 people were killed when an airliner landed without wheels, veering off the runway and erupting in a fireball as it slammed into a wall at South Korea's Muan International Airport on Sunday. South Korea's transport ministry said the Jeju Air Flight 7C-2216 arriving from the Thai capital Bangkok with 181 people on board was attempting to land shortly after midnight GMT at the airport in the south of the country. In the deadliest air accident involving a South Korean airline in nearly 3 decades, the South Korean ministry confirmed the casualties. It added that 2 crew members, a man and a woman, were rescued from the tail section of the burning plane, and the fire was extinguished. Authorities have switched from rescue to recovery operations, and because of the force of the impact, were searching nearby areas for bodies possibly thrown from the plane. The head of the local public health center said the 2 crew were being treated at hospitals with medium to severe injuries. Yanop news agency cited the fire official as saying that most of the 175 passengers and 6 crew were presumed dead. At least 58 bodies have been recovered. However, that number was not final. An airport official said shortly after the crash that authorities had worked to rescue people in the tail section. According to Transportation Ministry data, the crash is the worst by any South Korean airline since a 1997 Korean air crash in Guam that killed more than 200 people.
Moving to the world of business and finance, Secretary General of the Arab Investors Union Gamal Bayoumi said today that the electric linkage project between Egypt and Saudi Arabia is the first of its kind in the Middle East. The top Arab investors said the project is the cornerstone for the establishment of a common Arab market for electricity and the first step towards the launch of many similar energy projects in the future. The project aims at expanding the use of renewable energy resources and decreasing carbon emissions.
Egypt's market was mixed at the start of today's dealings amid local and Arab investor sell-offs against foreign investor purchases. The market capital of listed companies lost 3 billion Egyptian pounds, exceeding 2.2 trillion pounds. The benchmark EGX 30 slightly fell 0.2% above the 29,950 point mark. The equal weighted indices EGX 70 and the EGX 100 rose 0.2% and 0.1% respectively.
Russia's state-owned energy giant Gazprom said it will halt gas supplies to Moldova starting on January the 1st, citing alleged unpaid debt by the European Union candidate country, which has brought in emergency measures as it braces for power cuts. Gazprom said in an online statement that it reserved the right to take further action, including terminating its contract with Moldova Gas, Moldova's main gas operator, in which the Russian company owns a majority stake.
Now with the sports news, as the Zamalek will seek to cement the leading position of the Egyptian Premier League when they meet Al-Ittihad al-Secondary today in the 7th round of local competition. The White Knights currently top the league standings on 11 points, level with defending champions Al-Ahli and Pyramids, while Al-Ittihad rank 7th on 9 points.
Premier League leaders Liverpool will have a chance to build their advantage to 9 points today when they visit a short-handed West Ham side that has seen improved results recently. Arne Slot's Reds came from a goal down early to beat Leicester City 3-1 at home on Boxing Day. It was a result that solidified Liverpool's status as league title front-runner, particularly with Chelsea beaten by Fulham to full 7 points behind and into third place. Arsenal defeated Ipswich 1-0 on Friday to move into second, 6 points back, and like Chelsea, will be idle today.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, with this we come to the end of the news bulletin. My name is Amal Mukhtar. I had all the pleasure to be accompanied with my dear colleague Reem Tamer. Thank you, Reem.
Thank you so much, Amal. Thank you so much, dear viewers. Stay tuned for more updates on the top of the hour. And now it's time to say thank you for watching.